friends of the media, Ugandans at large. On Monday this week, a section of our members during what they termed as a consultative meeting, just decided to make it a tax. It was an attack meeting, not a consultative meeting, towards us leaders of the FDC. And this is the reason why we have decided as accountable leaders to come out here today and offer the true line of the story. I want to thank the president. After the attacks, or during the attacks, he had to ask my colleague, Centenary, Honorable Centenary Franco Robert, to come here in Najana Kumbi because we were not available, because the spokesperson was not available to address the Monday press conference, to address the press, and to continue to engage with the people of the media and the people of Uganda at large. Of course, these attacks on the president, Honorable Patrick Kamliat, and myself as Secretary General, did not start on Monday. Did not start on Monday. And maybe I can say here, I have built a name the entire of my life. Since I was born, I built a name. I was taken to school. I have been educated very well at a high level. And for your information, I'm an international financial management consultant who is consulted with all big organizations, including World Bank and IMF. I am a businessman, a successful businessman, and I am among the largest taxpayers in this country. Largest. I have a family. I have a wife and children. And when somebody attacks you like this, it looks bad. I have relatives. I have friends. And that applies to the party president, who is a real engineer with a family and friends and relatives. For a while now, we have faced constant attacks, blackmail, and propaganda by people who do not wish FDC well, but are driven by selfish ambitions for power and the prospect of getting rich by assuming leadership of the party. If they were real genuine members of the party, you don't go and destroy the party in public. You come and fight internally. It is like a wife and a husband. Instead of fighting in your bedroom, you decided to go and fight on the street where everybody sees you and you are naked. So those are people who are selfish and don't wish this party well. This group of people have made it their mission to bring us down, in the end tarnishing the image of the party they profess to be part of. As FDC has got a very robust conflict management system through which we resolve issues without necessarily affecting our cohesion, our togetherness, our cohesion. On many occasions, using these systems and mechanisms, we have tried to bring our brothers and sisters on table to understand what their grievances are and address them in-house. This is what is expected of a reputable political organization. We are, however, shocked with the wild allegations which were said during the Samba meeting. They were real wild. You recall one member of parliament got up and said, he came here, he had to wait for me to go out of the country so that he can wait for Kaija to sign his form. All of you remember we're in COVID. No plane was going out of this country and no plane coming in. A whole energetic, heavy MP to make such an allegation. You will know that this was just an attack on me as a person without anything, but just attack. Of course, the meeting was basically Nandala, Amriat. The whole discussion during the Nsambia meeting and the previous attacks are anchored on falsehoods and a very dangerous ploy to damage the reputations were built over a long time which is very painful. We have built this over a long time. Of course, Honorable Ssemujju Nganda, our Lord Mayor Lukwago, and others have continuously peddled claims that we received large sums of money from President Museveni, what they called unknown sources, to hand over FDC to him. This is just pedestrian, just thinking from this faction. FDC is a political party with structures and stakeholders. It's not a personal property that you just hand over to anyone. I want to tell our Constitution, Article 13, it says any member who goes to another party ceases to be a member of what? Of the FDC. Ssemujju went, she was a deputy president, she ceased to be a member. Which structure did she go with? Even her family structures, I'm sure she never went with it. So I cannot, carry a structure on a pickup, on a roller to take to Museveni. Unless for them they have a formula how they want to carry it on a pickup, and they will tell us. Secondly, he who alleges must prove. Why can't they lay evidence on table for all they see or they saw? Why are they not putting evidence? Why are you alleging? It is because they are alleging to people who have reputation. And they believe that if they soil us, the public will not trust us. But we want to state, the public has tested us, the international world has tested us, and they know which type of person we are, and they trust us. Honorable Ssemujju and others have also claimed, I made a deal with President Museveni to hand over FDC in the exchange for Bank of Uganda governor, job now Minister of Finance. This allegation has been around since 2012. I want to respond by saying my qualification, my experience and expert are very sufficient to have those positions. Who doubts me? However, no one has ever approached me with that offer, and I'm not interested in working with Museveni. Whatever you are saying is just peddling falsehoods for their personal reasons. In fact, if I want to go to work, World Bank is waiting for me. World Bank is waiting for me. Not Bank of Uganda. And I consult for so many banks, World Bank, international banks. They allege that we used the mysterious money to procure vehicles for 2021 general elections. These vehicles were paid over a period of time, rather than by a single deposit. And we have evidence we're going to share with you. They were paid over a period of time. These attacks are glaring, deliberated to dwell us, so that Honorable Ssemujju and his clique have their way in taking over the party for selfish ambitions. These armed with the power of the FDC members shall not allow it to happen. I want to call on members of FDC. You should not allow this to happen. You shouldn't. You have heard these are newcomers. One is about 2 years. Another one is less than 10 years. But they are here wanting to take us. We have been in the trenches for the entire life. Like we mentioned earlier, Honorable Ssemujju's clique has made allegation without providing any evidence, despite constant requests to submit the same. If this is not malice, what is it? Why don't you bring evidence? You say on such and such a day, you saw us in the State House picking money. But you cannot provide. As human beings, we are tempted to follow the path they have taken in the past month of maligning us. However, as seasoned, respectable leaders, we shall not. We are respectable. We shall only provide the evidence to confirm who is who. We have decided to share something for you to appreciate of the person and the character of Honorable Ssemujju in fraudulent drawing public funds in millions of shillings for activities he has never undertaken. We're going to share with you. In only less than 6 months, a man got money from the public, 378 million. If we give you for all the years, you can run away. He claimed to have traveled. If you get information we're getting, in some of those areas, he never traveled. He was in one country, in 3 countries on one same day, which are far apart. Far apart. He tells us that Museveni should declare his relatives he has employed in the parliament as a chief whip. As now a whip, who are those working and being paid in his office by parliament? Never say you have a piece in your, a speck in your eye when you have a log in your eye. All this we are going to share with you, and you are going to do it for your own analysis to confirm what a leader you have who claims to be clean, yet and we have more documents we shall share. For us, we have evidence. We are waiting for theirs. Let us go back to the memory lane. Of course, some of you don't know, in 2001, we participated in the election. Our president was Dr. Kizza Besigye. We did 2011. We did 2006, 2011, 2016. These general elections were when Dr. Kizza Besigye was a presidential candidate. And we were very well funded. I want to state I was the deputy treasurer general. I have evidence and information. The first worst funded election is of 2021. The other one was over 10 billion, 15, but this one was not even 3 billion. Why? Because the so-called who would have been able to assist were not there. And why? Because it was in Yamrat standing and was properly abandoned. In Kampala here, I will give an example. Lukwago, Road Mayor Lukwago ran away from every candidate of FDC. Every candidate of FDC, including Engineer Amuriat. In fact, we have a petition which says he went against the party. If you cannot support your own, now you want to come to support who? Amuriat suffered. That applies to my brother Nganda Ssemujju. He ran away. But I want to give you a simple experiment to show who are those who get public resources. Who made billboards for Lukwago? You remember the billboards? Yes. Who made them? Who made billboards for Ssemujju? We have got somebody who says those billboards each was over each of them spent Lukwago over 1 billion. Ssemujju spent over what? 1 billion. Show me the kiosk which sells airtime which belongs to Ssemujju. Have you ever seen this kiosk of MTN or airtime? So where did he get the money? So I told you that we have been funding elections. It has never been an issue. All those periods, nobody has ever questioned where was the source of what? Funding. But in the 2021 is where the question is what? Coming. This double standard should not be accepted, and we shall not agree to people who talk with their tongues folded. During the day they are saying something, and at night they are saying a different story. Honorable Ssemujju is the biggest beneficiary of government money. You recall when he was a chief government whip, and now he was now opposition whip. No, that's a whip, chief opposition whip.
Yeah, chief opposition.
He was given a vehicle with even a lead car and a field with a fuel card. But also they gave him cash 200 million. If he loves Uganda and FDC, why didn't either bring the 200 million in FDC or return it to the consolidated fund?
Because he was already given a
Because he had already what?
a government
Vehicle. I have mentioned about the people he employs. I want you to go and find out whose relatives are before he asks Museveni his relatives he has employed. I want to state, and I want to tell you, the people of Uganda, and I want to ask Saleh. He raised the issue to Lukwago. I know Lukwago goes to court, or even on a smallest thing. Why hasn't he gone to court? That clearly shows there is truth, and I wanted to ask General Saleh to give me authority to prosecute this case up to the end, because I am one of the best investigators in this world. And I will tell you, he's the chief beneficiary of public resources, and directly and indirectly. Recently, he was paid over 500 million by Attorney General that he went to court for a case that they were thrown out of office. There are many people who have won cases, years and down. They have never been paid their what? Money. If Museveni was not interested in him, would he have given him this 500? The document we have, which will show criminality, and I want Honorable Ssemujju to deny it, is going to be circulated to you for you people to see a leader who is supposed to do oversight function, how he behaves. If you can get money like that, would you really question anybody? It is for your own analysis, for only 6 months. There are areas, I've told you, where he was in Juba, Nairobi, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, almost on the same days. I want you to ask a question. Did you send members of parliament to go and be trained how to do campaigns? I thought they are already campaigning my people. If you see those documents, he's almost every week in Nairobi training in campaigns. He went to supervise elections in Kenya for 14 days. Were elections in Kenya there for 14 days? Let him confirm he was there for 14 days. If he's a genuine man. And he says he's a Muslim like us. Allah. I want to challenge my brother Ssemujju, who has been doing character assassination of Nandala and Engineer Amuriat, to come out if he has moral authority to challenge me and Engineer Amuriat. They should stop to be pretenders, and if they have any evidence on us, they are free to table it. I have declared all my personal assets with IGG, all my businesses, and how I have gained them. When I left the bank, I was being paid $20,000 per month in 2001. When Ssemujju left journalism, I was being paid how much per month? So if he has those properties he has, when he was getting nothing, what about me who is paid in what? I will also give a document which talks about the 300 million of agents which was given to our founding father, who claims he took pictures of the money, and when he was returning, he returned it in installments on the day of voting and thereafter, and we still have a balance. And if he says it was that money, he would have returned it all once, not in a what? I want to state that as a party, there was no need for our team to have gone to Zambia to spend all that money. They would have come here to question. Because you wanted to ask accountability, which we have provided in working committee, where there are all members, in National Executive Committee, in National Council. If you have not asked from there, why go to Zambia? In auditing, which I'm well versed, and as a professional, they raise a query. We have submitted our accounts to Electoral Commission. We have not got any audit query. And I don't know how Ssemujju and Lukwago team are capable to raise a audit query where their competence in that area is lacking. They made an allegation that we got money to fight NUP. Now, you can imagine FDC people becoming spokesperson for NUP. The person who should be complaining should be who? Senyonyi. But you can imagine Lukwago and Ssemujju are the one complaining on their behalf. That shows that they are not members of FDC. They are just on top FDC, but they are NUP what? I want to state, we have never got money to fight NUP. And we want to say, if NUP says so, we are here. But I want to state that this confirms the truth of the last election, why Lukwago was silent on FDC but sympathetic to NUP and other forces. Now, if such a member can refuse and Ssemujju can do that, it clearly shows that these are members ready to destroy this party in the name of NUP. And I'm saying kindly resist it. As FDC, I would like to remind you that FDC believes in democratic processes. That's why we have the elections. We're in the election process. As the party president explained, our village structures start on 21st, and this is a command of the national, it is a command by our constitution, Article 15, Clause 4, which says there will be party branch elections. That also applies to 16.3, 17.2, and that's what the party is doing. I want to state that we have also received a petition where people say that the chairman FDC, the party president FDC, the chairman FDC president, the chairman, not electoral, the chairman, the national chairman, has no mandate to stop any election process. And that's true. The Electoral Commission of FDC is independent, and they do what they are supposed to do according to the law. And if they have decided to conduct the election, it's the command of our constitution. As the Secretary General of this party, who keeps the accountability, who is in charge of who is in charge of who is the custodian of the law, that is say, responsible for compliance with all legal obligation of the party. I will defend this constitution. Anybody who tries to break it will not be accepted. It is so unfortunate that our brother Lukwago is mobilizing people for coming to disrupt the National Council. I want to request colleagues and brothers that don't do it. This is not a fighting ground. If you want to fight, you can write a letter. We will also get you the number of people to fight with you, and we can hire Nachivubo for that purpose. This is a democratic party. It will not accept any violence. And I want to repeat, it will not accept any what? Violence. And my brother, Lord Mayor Lukwago, kindly desist from that act. If we really had the power to mobilize, when they sacked you from the office, why didn't you organize those 200,000 to return you to the office? And now you want to come and fight Rajana Kumbi. And that is the reason why an electoral roadmap has been drawn to renew party structures, leadership through election. It is through election. It is not through violence. It is through what? Election. This fraction of leaders will not derail us from achieving this. I want to thank you all. One Uganda, one people, one people, one Uganda. God be with you.
President and the Secretary General. I know some people may be asking themselves, why is Centenary speaking to the cameras at the headquarters of Najana Nkumbi? FDC is a party of equal opportunities. FDC is a party of participatory leadership, and our constitution allows for delegated authority. And on record, I want to state that I come from a district that is founded on the principles and values of opposition, and that for us, we have been there before some people who even sit on organs of the party. And for record, I have also been on these organs of the party as a NEC member by virtue of the fact that I held the position of Member of Parliament. And when we are all going to purchase membership cards for the FDC, each one of us pays 1,000 shillings. Nobody pays 10 million. If you pay 10 million, it is your donation to the party. But the nominal value of our membership card is 1,000 shillings, which gives us the same nominal strength, the same membership strength, and that was brought in the spirit of generating equity so that people do not develop a sense of entitlement based on their contribution to the party. Therefore, our brothers and sisters out there who have developed a sense of entitlement, it is quite disheartening that you have deliberately, either by design or by bad manners, decided to shun the organs of the party, even when a platform has been accorded to you, to bring out your grievances in broad daylight so that they can be heard by the appropriate organs of the party, and you decide to form a parallel force that is devoid of your home. It is only a simple mind that will set the house that shelters it ablaze. I remember some people were saying, I've just returned to the party. There's a difference between divorce and separation. If I take a short leave from my party for certain reasons, and those reasons have been resolved, you have no moral authority to question my return and my contribution to my mighty party. the able leadership of this party decided to hold national post-election audit, reconciliation, and harmonization meetings all over the country. And that was a problem to some of our colleagues who don't mean well to this party. I remember in Buganda itself, we were in Masaka. The Honorable Ssemujju Nganda appeared at that meeting in Masaka for 10 minutes and he returned to Kampala. It means he was coming to show face. If he was a serious leader of this party, he would have soldiered until the end and listened to the affairs and grievances of the party members. And I want to believe that those meetings were actually giving him an opportunity to bring all those related, election-related complaints that he is now bringing now in 2023. Even when we concluded those activities here at the headquarters, I did not see any of them. The Lord Mayor was not here, and I kept on asking, where is our Deputy President for Buganda? We are concluding this activity in his region, and he has not appeared anywhere. Because we had a meeting in Masaka, we had another one in Impiji, and another one at the headquarters. Buikwe and Luweru. What I recollect is that the day we had a meeting here, taking stock, and the day we had a meeting in Impiji, he was in Kamwocha, hobnobbing with our colleagues of the National Unity Platform. So it would be unfair for you to be offered a platform to air out your grievances and you don't show up, and then you decide to go outside the party organs and demonize it. You've been told about the Dr. Nawiso-led investigation. Yesterday, again, unfortunately, I heard my brother, the Honorable Ssemujju Nganda, bragging that one of us, the chairman of Mbarara, Mr. Katembeya, has resigned from that committee. It is very unfortunate. What I know for a fact is that Mr. Katembeya was facilitated to come from Mbarara and fully attend, contribute, and participate during that investigation. And he never declined that appointment. And the report was compiled. If he really had dissenting views, he would have authored a minority report and attached it to the main report and offer his dissenting views. But for you to resign when the job is already concluded really is a foolery. A big foolery. Because you want to create this image that FDC is in a crisis and people have started resigning. Really? Do you resign after accomplishing a task? If you really mean well, you should decline the offer of the task, or you should give your dissenting views through a minority report. That is how civil people behave. There is nobody who is going to expect that FDC as a political party is going to run like a marketplace. Even a marketplace has leaders, because we have these market masters who organize the markets. So if a market can have an organized leadership, what do you expect of a fully registered political party with brains like ours? By the way, I would like to tell my brother, because he was asking me if I am speaking as who. I think now he has the answers. I am here with the leadership of the party, and I am speaking